And we're in to play immediately. And Valdivada can't get his hands on it. Sent sailing to start the game off. A beautiful bid, but unable to squeeze the hand. And that one bounces away. French will get a chance. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Stefan Rapazzo. I'm here with Charlotte Terrasson. We've got France, Netherlands stuck in front of us in the open division here. And things are well underway already.
What a start of the game indeed. Crazy layout bids to try to get a hand just too far. Intense already on the pitch.
Delal goes underneath, finds Abita. Abita throws inside to his Czech teammate Marco Delal. Speaking, there's another. Roble goes into the corner, and that looks like Stangenik, who's got the goal for the French. Yeah, he is back. They're glad to see him back. Are the French? He had a fair few important touches. The Dutch just millimeters away from opening up with a 2-throw score to open it up. But upon missing, it's come back to sting them, and they're buried one break already.
French Open will be hungry now for the win and intense because they had a tough loss against GB in 15-10, and now I bet they really want that win. On the other side, Netherlands had their win against Austria. Also pretty well, big score defense.
And here come the Dutch. Underway. They've bounced from one side to the other. Then Oldenbeck goes to Van de Woude. Now Blasman, look out for him. He's proven lethal all season long. That one picked up by Van de Woude. Blasman and Van de Woude. Those two, lots to say about how this one is going to work out. A speculator, but Van de Woude gets it behind Giffard. And then the continuation, and the Dutch hold to Dirks on the second asking, and they are high-flying right now is what they are.
The threat probably didn't play the way it was supposed to, but Van de Woude made it, skied the defense, and got the disc to get an assist. First point for Netherlands. I think that this goes in the way of Christina Obermeier liking to say that Johan van der Woude is the best player of Netherlands. I'm sure he's going to love that.
Yeah, he loves to hear about it. We're working on Charlotte's volume right now, so hopefully that gets sorted out. And I'm sure it is. But, yes, a great bit of play by the Dutch there. Van de Woude and Blasman, big part of the big chunks of meters taken by that Dutch offense. And now we get to see what you would imagine would be a French O-line, but that's not quite the way they roll their lines. We'll talk about that in a bit. Mate to Petitot. Monuz finds Bouchon inside. A little body check on the follow-through. A couple body checks as the Dutch try and get back into position. Back in the hands of Monuz, and he dumps back to Petitot. Petitot throws low, but Pilou comes skidding in, does Combray. The throw too far. Two chances to bail it out. Neither could get there. Chris Red too far in front, and Crash not quick enough.
Lots of
Foucault goes back. De Bruyne goes deep, but it is the French defender who has position. Combray covers up and ensures no collateral damage this time.
That was a great chance for Netherlands, but currently, like, they don't build the game, just saw one opportunity, oh come on, and use it. Maybe this is their tactic due to the wind. You want to just play huck and deep.
Not the first time we've seen that tactic here in Limerick. Mate through Petitot finds the ambidextrous Quentin Roger. Now to Combray. And into the corner for Bouchon. There's another little bit of contact on the follow-up there.
I don't exactly understand where Quentin was heading to. I mean, besides outside of the field. Don't know why he would go there and he's just not avoiding the body in the way. That was a weird situation.
It's twice Bouchon's got a touch in this game where he's got bodied. That was the one from earlier, in fact. And we just saw it again. Bouchon to Mate. He gets open again, does Luca. Now goes to Mate again in the backspace. Bouchon. Inside to Roger. He winds up. He's not afraid. Petitot on the chase. Catches up without a bid necessary. Bouchon coming. He collects on the doorstep. Bouchon goes around. It's Chris Red who keeps the toe down. Barely recognizable with his freshly shaved head. But Chris Red gets that goal.
What did you say? The French boys are showing off their new hairstyle, probably. Bouchon with the down. And Chris Red, barely recognizable, as you say, with the fresh haircut.
I mean, he had a lot of hair earlier, and it's all gone with the beard. It's an interesting look, we'll say it, but he's getting goals with it, so that's the only important part for the French.
2-1 for the French, still leading the game after their first break to start the game. Taking care of the score, thank you.
So, talk about the French lines a bit, Charlotte. How do they do things? O and D, normal, right?
Exactly not.
Ah.
They decided this season to have 3 lines and just rotate these 3 lines. So each line needs to do everything. Offense and defense. It is a choice. Let's see how this will go with the wing. We know it could work for a windmill. They made things work pretty well. Had to rearrange obviously when it's a tight game during final. You have to change a bit the lines if you want to get a power line or something, but it worked. So
Yeah, you got to give it to him there. It did work. I think I always prefer the way I know it, but I cannot bash it when it's working. Here come the Dutch. High stall count before it spins out of Van de Woude's hands. Delal goes back to Roger. That's Axel Roger who goes to Robles. He puts the fist up to direct traffic. And then Robles finds Roger again. Those two, no strangers to one another on the same club team. Hammer to Delal. And this Chak-heavy line converts to Rial, but there's a call. There's a travel a few throws away.
there's a lot of give and goes, and apparently one of those were just too much for last man calling for the travel. We do appreciate the upside throws despite of the wind.
Roger. Micote. He finds Robles, who goes to ground. And now inside. Abita gets it again. Roger tries to cross the line, but not quite there. But the follow-up is Abita with the goal. And France dictating here with their third on the board.
Microphone adjustment, but so the last few centimeters missed. Got in one last pass in front of the end zone. Let's have another look on the replay. Little cheeky pass. And we got a timeout called. I don't know which team called it, but we're gonna take a break.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team,
Back in play. French pole just beyond half. And the big man picks it up. Blasman goes up and over to Van der Woude. Inside and forward. That's Atis. Atis finds room in the backfield and gets Chang. Chang. Atis. Chang again near sideline. Chang finds Blasman. Blasman inside break. Ates again. Into the goal in the corner there. Great pickup by Lars van den Hertog for the goal. And the Dutch are back on the board.
Netherlands with another score to get to 2 points against the 3 scored ones from France. But even though they get a hold, now is the time for the break because France is already 2 breaks ahead and they do need to get some defenses done and clean these breaks to get back the advantage since Netherlands started on offense. To remember because they're gonna start on defense the second half. Don't want to let that advantage to France. And lovely Limerick weather, always changing. We had some wind, we have some sun now, but still rain. Everything's happening. Every second, weather's changing. Players have to adjust to that as well. Wind is blowing in all directions. It's time to show the technique, and we have a dropped pull by Keismatter right in front of their end zone. And Netherlands now is this chance of break we were talking about. Play safe and don't lose the disc if you want the break. Mate for the layout, he wants his disc back. And Schaap looking for an option, and here comes number 1 Lee. Big bump, but He doesn't care and finds his teammate for the goal. Number 24, Martin Brouwer, for the first break of Netherlands. 3-3. Tied up game. And now is a tied game. Tied game. Unfortunate mistake by the French, which happened to the best of us. But you gotta stay focused. This is a hard one on the mental. However, teammates are here to cheer up and fight back to retrieve this advantage.
So Dutch benefit the drop pull there, cash in. We got a great game on our hands here, as expected. French take a long walk back. Axel Roger walking it back up to the goal line. Roger to Ulysse Ruillard. He gives and goes and then gets out of the space. Roger to Abita. Roble. French just going side to side so far, looking at this Dutch zone. Roger winds up, puts it away. Roble does just about the same, and now Ruillard, and we hear the Dutch sideline explode, and they're melting into a match D. Roble finds Delal. Roble gets it again, going low. There's a travel called there.
Travel call, but also early stoppage of the zone defense. A half field. I feel like we've seen that in the game also. Italy, France, women, they stopped playing zone defense pretty early. Don't know if it's the best tactic though.
The transition's always interesting. When to stop, when to change. Delal. Again. Oh, bid there! And Johan van der Woude gets the D in front of his one-time ISNO teammate, Ulysse Ruillard. And here come the Dutch. Nagasoka goes to van der Woude. Schaap goes backwards. Nagaoka gets the gainer, van der Woude. Van der Woude, he's gone for it all. Schaap is there. And that's a big break for the Dutch.
I think Van der Woude might have heard me say that transitioning might not be the best option going from zone to person, and wanted to prove me wrong, putting that huge layout defense for retrieving the disc and getting that break. Also the assist. Schaap for the score. Netherlands have another break and cut back their delay deficits, yes, and back to 4-3, the score that was supposed to be if everyone was trading points. 2 breaks on each side, and we have the timeout. We're gonna take a break.
back from the timeout. There are your last scorers and assists. Van de Woude to Schaap to go ahead and put things back on serve. Benvenien goes to Giffard. Playing out of Noisy-le-Sec. Finds Cheret on the under. And Benvenien again. Chevalier goes up. Levier. Herbreto fakes the inside. Now finds Giffard coming around wide. Benvenien's there, and the French convert.
A clean hold with Benvenien for the score, and also a new hairstyle on his side as well, with some dyed hair. Iteration of the Czech players' hairstyle at Cincinnati this last summer, I mean. And now using this style to fit their ultimate skills after the score 4-4 tied up score. Netherlands, France here on live.
Not sure how I feel about the French nouveau style. I don't know if that's right in French. You can correct me in the chats. Nouveau style. It definitely jumps off your screen. You notice it. I don't know if it's my favorite style, just the same. That said, there's a little poll in the chats there. Whose kit do you like better? Most of you at home like the French kit. I think I'm about the same. Here come the Dutch, though. Chang. Now across to Van de Woude. Blashman. Fakes the big. Goes to Van de Woude. Nice throw around. Finds Chang. Chang winds up the lefty inside. Ates. He looks to go around but goes back the other way. Chang stays on the sideline. Van de Woude picks it up with the left, spikes it with the right.
Almost a travel call, I think, but that is pretty normal given the quick give and goes from Netherlands. Really waiting no second. A sub, as soon as they get the disc, release it immediately to a teammate, free or more or less free. That was really tight windows they were aiming at. That last catch in the end zone, what a reflex, Spider-Man reflex to get that last one. Let's have a replay to see this. Fancy catch, low behind the player, but still. Apparently, Van der Woude is hungry for this game. The man couldn't play last week at Nottingham World Under-24 Championship due to a broken hand. I bet that now all this frustration in Nottingham is paying off on the pitch for this week now at EUC with his teammates from Netherlands Open Elite.
Mikoti goes to Robles, and surprise, surprise, it's raining again. Robles goes deep. Rouillard on the chase. Is he going to get there? Oh, he gets a hand to it. Bids, but can't hang on. And the Dutch will get a chance to go the other way.
I mean, you know Ulysse will give it all and give the layout needed, but if it's too far, it is too far, even if Rouillard is the target.
We saw his spectacular, we've seen him bid a lot, but one particularly spectacular from the windmill final. Now the Dutch bring it into play. De Breyen gets it around. That one's floated into way too much traffic, but should have been had by Van Laar. And now the rain's really coming. Axel Roger. Inside Ruyard. And Mossink on his hip causes the turnover. The deep went right away, but not fed. Van Laar. Shot deep. Now it's up. That one's floating. Cardinal and bounced the other way on the Roble D.
What a sick layout from Roble to reach the disc high in the sky and get the defense. And now France back with the disc for their offense hold.
This is a hold. What a point. This one. French needed to stay level. Roble finds Mikote. Ruyard. Abita. And the poach saw that the whole time. And now the reward, but the reward is overshot. And never a chance for Cardinale to get there.
Yeah, too rush, too hungry for that quick break. I mean, obviously you want the break, but again, that might be their tactics, and they want to just huck it whenever they're on defense and have the possibility to do it. That might be the tactic, but could have just waited a bit.
That one shot the other way. Dalal, the target. Company's coming. Roble put that one just a bit too far, and they are trading end zones right now. The Dutch will start again from their goal line.
Crazy layout again. Bodies throwing themselves everywhere in all directions to get a hand on those discs, but everyone seems to be overthrowing their players. Not very nice to each other today.
Let's be nicer. Let's throw on the money here. Here come the Dutch. And that one, they're going to call a foul.
We had a quick, refreshing shower that already stopped, just to make sure the disc is wet enough to make the game harder and more complicated, more challenging as the players are talking. I'll bet you that when they stop talking and play again, the rain will come back just on time.
Typical Limerick weather as far as we know. So Mikote goes back to Mossink. Mossink goes wide and around. That's Van Laar. Inside, that's high and taken by Cardinal. Wide and around, now to center. Van Laar. Roger there with a great defensive effort. And the French get another possession. Roger de Roble, timeout called.
Good call by Roble to keep the team calm after this crazy defense. Again, layout defense here from Roger. And France have to gather their focus to get that hold. And we'll leave you with a little break.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting edge strategies and to see analysis of world class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
So we're in after the timeout. Robles with the disc in hand. Robles de Roger. Mikotti in the dump space, wide open. Straight back to Roger, and he goes up line, but Delal with the fill. Delal goes to Stangenik. Inside Abita. Abita goes wide. Robles in acres of space, and the French level things up at 5.
That was a long point. We had a couple of turnovers, and both sides not very patient with their disc. They just threw it, hucked it. I mean, pretty impressive hucks. Big throws, big runs, and layouts on both sides, but just unprecise, just too rushed, I'd say. Not necessary. They could have done better choices, maybe like the French did at the end of this point. They stayed patient, looked for the right options, right open player, the throws they can throw precisely, control, and that gave them the points. They scored their offense, 5-5.
5-5. That timeout came at the right moment. We've seen many times. We call the turnout. That one with so much fatigue, with so many turnovers. Robles called it. Robles ended up open for the score. And the French get the benefit of this great start to this game. We're off to a cracking pace, 5 apiece. 2 very different styles battling it out on field 9 here. 11. Van de Woude goes to Blastman. He keeps his toes and avoids the camera. Blastman goes wide. Lievre cleans it up, but Blastman gets a second bite at it. Now to Van Hertog. He gets Van de Woude coming under. Van de Woude shoots for Blastman. That one is on the money. And the Dutch stay in the lead, 6-5 with that goal.
Great perseverance by Netherlands, fighting for each disc. What sadness for Leliev. What a beat on this disc. Good reflexes, fighting, putting his body on the way, catching it, almost catching it. That's the thing. Couldn't catch the defense. Hit it as strong as possible, but it's just not enough. With this wind, disc flies all directions, and Netherlands got their hold, 6-5. And between these points, we can have a look at some of the other games scores. We have a tied game between GB and Austria in the open division, 5-5 tied game. And it's the same pool indeed as this game, so pretty same level. So 5-5 everywhere. And on the other fields from open, we have Italy, Spain leading 7-5, and Israel, Ireland leading 5-4. We'll talk about the other divisions later.
Wow, lots of action. The Spanish up on the Italians early is the most interesting of those score lines. Roger, he goes to Mate. Bouchon comes under. French need a hold here to keep trading. Bouchon scoops to Combray. He finds a hole where Mate is at the other end. Mate has Bouchon. Back to Mate. Lucas Bouchon goes to Petitot. Zips around Monus. Roger, that's Quentin Roger. Bouchon. Fires one in. Pilou. Combray keeps his toe down. And the French hold. Back and forth now. It's all tied up.
Very quick game by the Frenchies. A lot of motion everywhere, no stoppage at any time. Might be due also to the fact that now Netherlands only played person defense and no zone was to be seen, allowing French to play much faster and reaching that end zone pretty quickly. Nice control, good play. It's nice to see that players on these French lines are mixed. Like, it's not three lines made of majority of one club or another. They're pretty well mixed, and everyone seems to be playing with everyone. And the Steph doesn't seem to be agreeing with me.
There's one line that seems pretty check heavy with Robles, Axel Roger, Delal, Habitat. There's at least four. Yes. But they've obviously got some subs on this line too. Because Bonnet hasn't been... We haven't seen much of Bonnet this match yet. And so there are only 3 Czech members out there. So maybe Charlotte is right.
Let us know in the comments.
Atis opens up to Van der Woude. He's having a heck of a game right now. Atis zips it over the head, but the defense was just enough to cause the drop. French will get a chance to break. Axel Roger from the corner goes to Robles. Robles fakes the windup, puts that away. Inside, goes all the way across, gets a sliding Stangetic. He's ripped it, Bonnet on the chase. That works, not quite in. Dumps back to Roger, and then a nice little slash cut back into the corner, and the French get a break.
Here the French retrieve the advantage they took at the start of the game. Another break. This is their third one against 2 for Netherlands. France 7, Netherlands 6. Let's have another look at this quick give and goes between Roger and Bonnet. No other players needed. Both of them just got the job done, and the break is in.
So, question about the 3 lines of France, the opinion of the esteemed commentary team. How do we feel? I mean, I do think so. I talked to Coach Gilou prior to the match. He seems to think they've made some small adjustments over the course of the year, and even since Windmill, he believes they are. I definitely see what I recognize as their top-end talent distributed throughout the 3 lines. So, by my estimation, I'm not sure. I would like to know if they have any internal club battles and how those pan out, which line wins most at training. That would be a fun bit of information to learn. Dutch on attack. Chang goes to Atis. Big one was looking to come, but it's holstered. Ates in the corner. Stall count rising. Blastman gets now to Ates. He gets a gainer. Van Olbeek. Ates may have needed to lay out, but stays on his feet. Blastman. Van de Woude. Quick release to Ates. Now he's gone deep. Den Hertogs is there, and he is a tower, and he uses his towering body to come down with that one. It floated. That's the right throw to a man like that.
I mean, I would have done the same decision. I mean, the man didn't even need to jump. He just stayed there and raised his hand to grab above all other players. I mean, we know Netherlands people are tall, but look at this line. They even call themselves lange man, which is tall boys, tall man. And there is a timeout call because we're entering into Galaxy Point. It is 7-7. First one to score gets to take half.
Well, let's take a break for halftime. We'll come back for Galaxy Point. Back in Galaxy Point here. Great match back and forth between the Dutch and the French. Shop set to pull. And we're underway. Galaxy Point. Chevalier fields the pull. Benvenien. Herbreto. Gives and goes with Chevalier and then gets to Prior Martin. Herbreto. Giffard. Prior Martin. Giffard winds up and throws away. Benvenien. French looks sharp thus far on Galaxy. Cheré inside, doesn't give it. Looks to the dump space and finds Chevalier. Up, that's floating, but Benvenien has all sorts of time. Inside break, Herbreto to Giffard. Casually dumps it off, and the French take Galaxy Point into half.
Really good for the French Open team because now they're going to start on offense for the second half with already an advantage, 8-7. The Netherlands really need to step up on this second half to get other defenses and breaks if they want to have a chance on this game. Let's have a look at this last point. Quick release for Giffard in the end zone for the score. And the break, actually. No, this is a hold, my bad. A hold for France. And so we're going to take a break for the half. See you in a bit. Oh, my bad. We have first the stats in front of you by our lovely Force sponsors. So 3 breaks for France against 2 for Netherlands. Not that many turns, 7 for Netherlands and 6 for France, which is just one more for that one more break. But clean holds, Netherlands did have more clean holds on their side with 5 against 3 for France. So we're gonna take a break. Oh, take the break for the halftime.
Lovely grab out.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches, and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe. Ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world
And
and
beyond.
beyond.
And we're back, second half action. The French in the lead and a chance to go 2 for none here, so to speak. They start on 0, but they finished on 0. They are 1 break ahead in the first half with that 8-7 lead. A great first game. We're seeing a little bit of everything out there, Charlotte. We're seeing the Dutch play the way we've expected the Dutch to play. They're not afraid to go deep. They have been winning some air battles. The French have been, playing a bit more hegemony in their style. They're using their lines evenly. They're using their players evenly. There's a look at the stats. 3 breaks to 2, 6 to 7, very similar. 6 break chances for the Dutch compared to the 3 for the French, and the French have been perfect. They've converted on every break chance they've had. So that to me is the tale of those stats. Charlotte, what are your thoughts on the first half? What do you think is coming?
Well, for this second half, I think that everything might happen. Like Netherlands showed us that they are capable of getting also breaks, and not only France. But what I'm wondering is, are they gonna adapt and maybe stop throwing too far and use their height more, because that is what's been working the most for this first half. I mean, we've seen that some of their players don't even need to jump. They can just throw disc and they would eat the disc on top of their defensive heads. So maybe that might be better than risk to overthrow their players, which worked way less.
And we've seen that happen. Well, we'll find out how it goes. That pull went out and possibly over our tent. It went over Media City and landed in the other pitch. So not a great pull is the other way to say that. Back in play. That one had a passport stamp. It went so far. Petito walks it to the line. Mate to Petito. Red on the far sides. Petito goes to Mate and Bouchon. Mate gives the up line. Now pops over top. Great throw by Mate, who finds Combray and then Red in for the goal. And the French do get the 2 for none. They follow up and open the half with a score.
And yes, France taking advantage to start this second half with the offense. Nice jump from Red, as we will see on the replay. First, Mate with the beautiful high release and a little jump from Red just to make sure this pass is the goal pass and not another one. Not give a single other chance to Netherlands to try to get a bid for defense. France with the goal, 9-7. Advantage for France. 2 points advantage. Let's see if Netherlands heard me and agree with me for using more of their height.
Charlotte, generally anyone in a 1 mile radius of you hears you. You have the same problem as me with your over powerful vocal cords. People hear us a mile away. People like us don't need telephones sometimes. We can just speak to wherever. So they definitely heard you. Let's see if they listen and put what they heard into play. This French pole does at least stay in the field. It's short, and Whitcomb went deep unaccounted for. Robles does just enough to get a touch. And I think Whitcomb begged for that just a bit too much, put some urgency on it.
I think Lars Den Hertog was just admiring that disc dancing in the sky during the pool and didn't see his teammate Whitcomb totally getting free in the deep zone and shot it just a bit too late. However, something's happening on the pitch. We have an injury call. I hope everyone's okay. Oh, Robles had to go out after this great bid for the defense. Apparently maybe landed a bit awkwardly, hurt himself, and we have Quentin Roger taking his place on the pitch.
Crash, as he's known, the ambidextrous throwing threat, comes in for his club teammate and now alongside his brother. Axel Roger brings the disc to the line. Bonnet came under, but the defense switched to a count. Van Hertog there, but Bonnet makes a beautiful play. There's an injury on it. What a grab by Bonnet.
That was 1 inch away from Callahan. Oh, my Bonnet really stepping forward to avoid this situation on streaming. Out of question that with Callahan happens and that it is not his team doing it. However, the injury looks painful. I hope everything's okay. This field's getting dangerous. Players hurting themselves. At least there's no major contact. It's players themselves doing it to themselves with the ground. But still not appreciable moments.
We'll give all the time needed for Den Hertog, but he is down and not in a good way. Looks like his left leg is being tended to. Here is another look at the play. No. We're going to just show some highlights and leave you with that. Charlotte's got a read of some scores around the division.
While hoping that everything's okay for the Dutch player, we have updates from the other open games. Belgium leading over Switzerland 10-4. We have Ireland leading over Israel 8-6. Spain leading over the Italian open team 9-6. And GB having the advantage 8-7 against Austria.
That's a cracking division, the one we've got here, with GB and Austria are only a point away after they both won and lost in their last round. Winners and losers here again. Austria and France needing these wins now. That one sailing up. Rouillard read it best. He shoots it back to Bonnet. Rouillard again. Rouillard finds the goal. The French do put another one on, and it's Abita who gets his hands on it.
What a flow! The French offensive just kept going. The Dutch players just couldn't get on place and block this open side flow. That was all in the open side. sideline. No need for a swing. Just keep it going upline until they reach the end zone. Nice work from the Frenchies to get another break. This is one more break for French. First one on this second half. Netherlands still hasn't scored a point on the second half, and they're taking a timeout. So we're also gonna take a little break.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
Here's the pull. France on a run. 2 in a row in the second half. 3 in a row all up. And that one goes over the fencing. Well, under the fencing. It gets to the other side of the fencing. I'm not even sure how it got there. But it did. That's what it's all about. Wind up there. Put away. De Bruyne. Ates to De Bruyne. Ates comes under. Good reception there by Damon. Now the big shot, but everybody gets turned around. Cheré almost macked it into another chance opportunity. Benvenien. Herbreto was under, but so was Giffard. Giffard gets Cheré. Benvenien. Cheré! Wow! That is one heck of a pickup by Léo Cheré.
Sheriff for the D and Sheriff for the O. He did it all. That is a bookend, as we call it, isn't it? What a grab. Crazy grab from Sheriff. Let's have another look at it on the replay. Beautifully kept in bounds. Actually, that layout made him be in the end zone. Crazy goal for the D-line of France. D-line of France. The line playing D for this point. Again, one break, 11-7, 7-11. Steph?
Time for a Slurpee. Go get your Slurpees. Grape for me, please. Léo Cheré, we had our show last night. Lucas Bouchon said if there's one young fella to look out for on this French team, he said look out for Léo Cheré, and it's for reasons like that we're looking out for that man. He gets that trailing edge layout for the goal, and wow, did he look good doing it. Pull goes the other way, Ates to Chang. Blasman. Whitcomb goes deep, but the hammer to Foucault. Foucault Shap. Van de Woude gets Blasman. And back to Van de Woude. Whitcomb. Van de Woude. Now Ates. Goes to Blasman. He keeps it. Puts the foot down. Puts the disc down. That's a goal on the board. The first in the second half for the Dutch.
First one, as you say, they need that. That is a 3-1 for this second half. Netherlands finally scoring one. They need it. The gap is getting bigger and bigger between both teams. So Netherlands really need to step up now to wake up, to get the focus back. I don't know what they're missing, but they have to retrieve it. It is now before losing the momentum, which has been really hard to retrieve in this second half. France is really fired up. I mean, they have material to breaking and scoring every chance they get off the breaks. Netherlands just needs to find that same mojo.
On the hunt for the mojo. They got the hold they needed. Can they turn this around into a run of their own? They've got their defense on the field. That's the first step. The French put their other line onto the field to play O. Robles lets the pull go to Roger. Nicotti. Robles finds Roger, who motions. Looking for some incoming receivers. That one's Stangenik. Oh, Bodé! Great catch on the bobble recovery. Then he shoots to Stangenik. Looks like it's going to work. It does. Does he stay in bounds? He's definitely made the catch. We'll see if we get a look here. It looks like they got sniffer dogs for now. They've given the goal. Haven't had a chance to have a second look. So the goal counts 12-8 for the French.
Crazy bit by Bonnet to save that almost drop. We have another look at it. On this pass, almost lost possession, but one hand layout, throwing the body, and a nonchalantly thrown hook. So beautiful sidearm, right in the back, almost out of bounds, but Leo, the other Leo of the team, throwing a neck, kept it in bounds. Good job from the French players, holding their offense, and another score on the board.
So the French in command at this stage of the game, 12-8. There is about just more than 30 minutes remaining, so plenty of time. And the French only 3 scores away from closing it out. So the Dutch, if they're gonna get a run going, now is about that time. Van de Woude goes to Atis. Van de Woude up and over. Witcomb. Van de Woude. Oh, hits Blasman hard, and he can't hang on to it. Helbretot ends up with an interception in his hands. Benvenien goes backwards. Chevalier. Back to Benvenien. Chevalier distributes again. Benvenien and him returning completions. Levier now to the end zone. Helbretot on the chase. Did he get there? Not by the looks of things. Goes a little too far, and the Dutch are going to get a chance. I think we've got an injury on the play. Ates needs to come off holding his guts.
a bit of a pity for this one because I like the look of the throw, like this outside, avoiding the defense and just floating in front of the attended receiver. But that one was just a bit too far, maybe because of all the spin put into the throw to fly against the wind.
Just a bit too much. Now the Dutch, the chances they need. Blasman goes. Schaap, who came in after the injury, on the chase. He bids, and that one just a bit too far the other way. French will go again.
As we said previously, maybe they should aim more for the height than for the length of the throws. Because even though their players are giving us spectacular layouts every time, they just cannot keep it in hands. So maybe change strategy again.
Or just listen to Charlotte. Ben Vignen bringing it to the line. Disc is in. That one sent, and Prior Martin makes a great play. Chevalier picks it up low. Herbreto. Nalièvre. Herbreto. Chéré. Prior Martin to Chéré again. The French are moving quick. The small ball right now in full effect. Ben Vignen to Herbreto. Chevalier inside break to Givard. And there's the goal quickly to Lièvre. And the French putting the foot down. It's 13-8. And they are eyeing that finish line.
Squeezing that throw just between the arms of Blasman, trying to get the layout for this one. But Lièvre managed to keep it in his possession for the score. Another score for French. It's 13-8. Another break, another score. It's been the third break of this halftime for France. Really just making it roll and continuing breaking the Netherlands O-line. Definitely ruling the mental game here, but will this be enough? It's 29 minutes left still in the game, 13-8. I mean, France is 2 points away of winning.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be quite enough. Well, I guess that's why you're all watching. But we're keen to find out if the Dutch can do anything. For now, a simple hold is the bare minimum. If the French break again here, well, I would say the Hearts would break with it.
That would be really tough on the mental. It's always hard to get broken, but also gives motivation, like, okay, I'm gonna break two, as they did, but when the gap becomes too big, it needs strong mentality.
Schaap with the disc for the Dutch. He fakes the hammer. Now drops back to Blasman. Blasman. Ooh, the inside throw, hotly contested there. Dutch trying to work it through all the hands. Cardinal moves it to Schaap. And now, De Bruyne back to Schaap. Blasman. De Bruyne fakes everything and then goes to Schaap. Blasman gets Schaap. Inside. Now the big shot. Brouwer is there. The
French melt into match defense. Glassman gets the reset. De Bruyne. Ooh, and nice cut by Glassman. He gets meters up the line. Not in yet. Glassman looking at De Bruyne and then resets to Shop. Oh, and the hand block by Chris Red shuts the door on the Dutch's efforts there.
That was really big pressure from the French defense on the Netherlands. Really make them struggle for every cut, every pass, and here it paid off finally. Red with the block. France again with the break.
Roger with the disc, and I think we've got a travel back on the red. Throw. It was a travel and it was retracted. Timeout called by Quentin Roger. If they can convert this, makes it.
True. What the mentality must have changed for Netherlands. I mean, with the 3 points in a row of French's. Makes sense. Here we are back in the action. It is 1 point away for France to take the win. I really like that give and go, a lot of give and goes between Matt and Bouchon. As we see, Bouchon really happy to have his matchup with his practice mate, Blasman. The lovely kiss to his teammate, matchup for this game, but also ex-teammates from the U24 Netherlands team last week in Nottingham, where they played together, now match up against each other. So Will it be another break for France and finisher of this game? Or is Netherlands still gonna score this offense and maybe more? I mean, of what we've seen, I don't believe it that much. But let's fire it up. They want to also finish as soon as possible. Big poach from number 12. Their body language on the line are really down, are not reflecting the game they just provided us on the pitch. I mean, the first turnover was, they were still down, but I think that retrieving the disc inspired them to just keep going. That point was much more intense than what we've seen previously. Easy peasy. So we're still 18 minutes to the end of the game, but if France manage to score this point, it is the end of the game, 15-9. So let's see if Netherlands are gonna take those breaks.
Hey, big man, big voice. Let's go. Nu is ook aan ons.
So Fukashap ready to pull. And there we have it. You get an indication of the wind when you get big, muscular-bodied throwers who know what they're doing, and it still floats up and lands at about midfield. Benvenien, El Breto. El Breto again. Back to Benvenien. El Breto to Prior Martin, who keeps it off the turf. Benvenien. He finds Giffard. Giffard fakes. Still serving. Options goes left-handed to Prior Martin. That one to Cheré. And the French have put away the Dutch with a victory. Their first victory. Both teams go to 1-1 in this very tightly contested pool.
Beautiful, and for France's holding their offense and getting that 15th score to the win. First win for French, who lost against GB, and Netherlands also have a win, as you said, Stefan. So let's see also if we have the result of the GB Austria. No, it is still ongoing, GB 11, Austria 9. So let's see how these first two games for this pool are going. But beautiful game here. France really stepped up, took the defense's breaks, and didn't let Netherlands score any easy ones. Really putting on the gas for the second half for France, really taking the advantage in this second part.
Yeah, the French rebounded from a poor start against GB. They found a way to make things look just a little bit better. And they've got themselves a win to have a level record with the Dutch, but of course they'll have the tiebreaker if it's ever needed now that they've beat the Dutch. And now that GB is likely going to pull away with 2 wins and be atop the pool. Here's a look at the match stats. So we're just off to see if we can get a word with a couple of the French players. And where Charlotte has gone and found Sullivan Roblet. We'll have a few words with him. I think we're going to be able to do this interview in French. We've got Roblet coming up on into the booth. We'll let Charlotte handle the questions here, and we can speak in French here and have a bit of a chat about the game. First of all, congratulations, félicitations. On va passer la microphone à Charlotte.
Okay. Félicitations Sullivan et toute l'équipe. Alors dites-nous déjà, dis-nous comment c'est d'avoir gagné ce match. Je peux plus parler français. Ce deuxième match après le match contre GB.
C'est un gros kiff déjà d'être ici à Limerick parce qu'on attendait que ça. On se prépare pour jouer des gros matchs. On a eu un match très très difficile contre l'Angleterre, mais on a vraiment produit du jeu et eux ils ont l'habitude, ils ont fait beaucoup de championnats d'Europe. Nous c'est une équipe un peu nouvelle avec des jeunes qui n'ont jamais joué des matchs comme ça, donc grave cool. Et puis là on voulait vraiment montrer ce qu'on valait et puis poser nos jeux, vraiment se mettre en confiance, et je pense qu'on l'a vraiment bien réussi contre une très belle équipe des Pays-Bas qui a battu l'Autriche, et on a vraiment une poule très compliquée et ça va être un très beau championnat.
Et d'ailleurs, comment est-ce que vous appréhendez ou comment est-ce que vous vous préparez pour le match contre l'Autriche demain?
Et nous on est plutôt confiants parce qu'on sait qu'on va rentrer vraiment sur une pente qui va faire que monter, parce qu'on est prêt physiquement, on est prêt techniquement, et on est confiant. Franchement, là on va aller se reposer, on va bien manger, on va bien dormir, et puis demain ça va être la bagarre, et on va faire ce qu'on a à faire, et on se voit vraiment bien dans cette compétition, malgré peut-être que les pronostics nous voient pas vainqueurs.
Génial, en tout cas c'était super de vous voir tous en feu à fond contre les Hollandais, et hâte de voir la suite aussi, comment ça va se passer. Un plaisir, merci Sully d'avoir été avec nous.
Merci à vous.
Merci Charlotte.
À bientôt. Ciao.
Plaisir prochain en anglais.
Sullivan Roblet there, getting the call. Happy to have it in French, but we're going to get him speaking English next time. We know he's got it in him as well, but that doesn't matter how he speaks and how he interviews. It all matters how he plays. He did a heck of a job out there in that game to get the win for the French. I think that's going to be about it from us. Thanks for joining us. We love having you, as always. As always, reminders, like, subscribe, do all those things, press the buttons, become a patron, tell your friends, tell your moms, sisters, kids, whoever. Get on board. We'll see you at the next game. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ulti.TV.